Hello, everyone. My name is Trevor Stickrat, and we're doing this little podcast thing for Mr. Tech and Teens class. We're part of a U.S. government class. Well, most of us are. And we're just doing this for our final project. We're starting it early and things like that. Um, with me as well is Kavika, who is right here. You can see him. Reggie Goodwin, who is right here, and then this person actually graduated last year, Jadon. He's just here to be another voice, I guess. So in this podcast, we have to talk about politics and things like that. It's probably not going to be fun for most of us, because I don't think any of us has talked about politics before in our group at all. But this is kind of like an experiment, test run. If this fails, then sucks for us.
We need a new project if it fails. So we're definitely gonna need to do if this fails.
Oh my god. Oh, she. Oh, wait, what's happening? What is happening? Hello?
Oh my god, Chad.
What is happening?
The person that just left in.
She just left and joined so many times. Yeah, who was doing that was Courtney. She's also part of a U.S. government. She got some things going on apparently today, so she can't join us. Yeah, so let's get this thing on the show, shall we? Today, shut the fuck. Shut up. This is gonna be so hard for us, dude.
Look, nah, okay, I'm gonna put the warning up now. Whoever reads this, listen to this, I don't know how you read a podcast. There may be some moments where we say unfiltered things, and you know what?
We're gonna try and filter ourselves the best we can.
You in the nicest way possible to try to act like you never heard it. Okay? Okay.
I'll try and censor myself the best I can. I know Reggie can do it. Jadon might be able to do it.
What do you say? It's the doubting for me, boys. But I doubt
If it does slip out, terribly sorry. That's really all I can say for this. So today what we're going to be talking about essentially is like a recap of January 2020 and some things that happened this year. So first thing down that I have here is the Australian bushfires.
Now, honestly, the first thing I gotta say on this, right, is remember how like social media for us, you saw something about it every once or twice. And it was like, hey, somebody to support the bushfires. Now, if this was in the opposite way, like imagine if America just lit on flames, we'd be asking Canada, Mexico, and everyone in their brother for some help. Australia, as far as I know, really didn't ask for anything. They kind of just got like given things by the United Nations and stuff.
No. You wanna know what happened? Is as the bushfires were actually starting, their prime minister actually dipped. Like, not kidding. He literally, as they were starting, he literally said, "Yep, I'm gone," and he left. He is the reason for the bushfire starting, and he just dipped.
There's no wait. So there was no leadership throughout that entire.
There was
thing.
no leadership roles throughout that entire time the bushfires were going on. So anything they got was purely from the help of other countries.
I'd say they handled it pretty well for not having an authoritative figure to guide them.
I actually got to see
those raged on for a while.
It went on for all the way through January, maybe through February as well. But I actually got to saw one of the videos of people fleeing from the fires, and it showed how fast it actually spread, because most of Australia is actually just trees. Like, they haven't inhabited most of the island. Maybe about 20% is inhabited by people, and the rest is just trees and open field. Now, when I'm telling you, in a matter of seconds, fire spread from one place to the next, I'm literally telling you, if you blinked, you would have missed it. That's how fast it was spreading.
Honestly, it may have been a lot, I won't say better, but it may have been a lot more lessened we thought it was. See, if like bushfire, you think people, okay, death. But yes, a lot of things were destroyed and a lot of area was burned. Like I'm looking at it now, approximately 46 billion around that
Damn.
acres of land were burned, but only at max 500 people that have been accounted for have passed away from the incident. That does not include like animal habitats and animals themselves. I know a lot of things went near this, like near extinction because their habitats were burned. Like it's really crazy how long this really went down. But it ended in May though.
Really?
Yeah.
That.
It's that 3 months of imagine having to live like in fear of for 3 months that a bushfire is coming straight for your house, dude.
I don't know.
The
if y'all knew,
record
but
high for the whole month was 174 degrees Fahrenheit.
Jesus, that's
Oh my.
basically burning, dude.
Hi, welcome to my oven.
y'all
If
need
you
to
step
search
out,
up
you're
the
basically burning.
Photography work for this place. The photography was different. And I'm telling you, it looked like a hellish landscape. That's really the only phrase that describes that all that. Just red.
It's wild. Like, and the fact that it wasn't even covered that much is crazy as well. The only reason I was able to see it was because of a game company that I love a lot. That is how I actually learned about it. They were doing a little charity where if you bought a shirt, they'd send that money directly to help stop the bushfires and the firemen and everything like that. That is the only reason I figured it out. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very secluded inside the house. My mom likes to watch TV a lot, so the fact that I didn't even hear it from the news first is crazy to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I heard a lot from TikTok. I'm being so serious.
Why?
Instagram. That's where I find out everything.
Like,
So-
honestly, a lot of people on TikTok do talk about situations and they do, attention to people. I'm pretty sure I heard about it from TikTok, and I was like, "There's no way this is real." I fact checked it, and yeah, it was happening.
So a city over there, the air quality spiked to 20 times more than the recommended hazard level. That's a lot of smoke.
That's
That's a lot of carbon.
That's basically you have to wear like 3 layers over your mouth or else you're fucked. Oh
Yeah.
God dang it, boy! You're doing so well.
I'm so sorry.
No, but have you ever like imagined inhaling that though? Like real serious question. Like all that smoke, like like if you look at it, it looks dense. Or if I were to punch it, it would punch back.
Yeah.
Like, dog, oh no, just a thought.
Has anyone ever been in a fire situation?
No. There was a fire actually right next to me. My neighbor's house actually burned down a couple of years ago. They got it rebuilt though, and they're all back. They're fine now, but like.
For anyone that doesn't know, I have been in a fire situation. A large portion of my old house is on fire. That's why I'm in this apartment right now. So
he's gone.
he'll probably come back. Probably blacked out.
Probably.
What was I gonna say? Right. So about like the situation of my house and stuff. So smoke rises to the top, but it also sits at the bottom because it's pushing all the air up. Like it's a really strange process. And first of all, it makes your eyes water, so you can't see. You can't breathe through your nose or your mouth because it feels too dense to even enter. And like if y'all ever like inhaled and you inhale and it just feels dry and really hot, it kind of like burns back your throat. And that was just in my house. Now imagine if your like an entire city is burning at the same time, and you have nowhere you can go. You probably have a respirator, but that respirator is being totally filled up to the point where you can't breathe anymore. I really do like think about that. That is a very bad situation to ever be in. Like fire is such a dangerous thing. It's also a nice thing, but it's extremely dangerous. And like the after effects, like I can imagine a lot of people do have asthma or lung problems over there just because of that entire thing. And speaking of the thing, how are they gonna come back from this? Like, yes, I know that ashes are really good for soil when it comes to replanting trees. How are y'all gonna like economically come back from this?
Let's see.
I guess the roots in the ground would kind of help. I don't actually know, bro.
To help the
Um,
ecosystem because
Yeah, no,
honestly, fires are really good for ecosystems,
kind
but
of.
economically,
But you gotta think
kind of.
like you gotta kind of think like the animals' habitats and things like that as well, because that's still part of ecosystem as well. So that's basically
Yeah.
destroying most of the food chain. Well, basically all of the food chain except for things that like live in the ground.
I think Barry would say
So I just looked this up. Australia is committing 1.39 billion US dollars over the next 2 years to help rebuild from the bushfires. That's that's kind of low
That
I was gonna say y'all think that's enough?
for the whole country, but
But then again, you got to
now
think
see,
most of the you got to think that most of the places that got burned were not inhabited by people at all. It was mostly just trees and things like that.
what's gonna happen if it happens again?
If it happens
Like,
again,
like,
you better start praying.
Actually,
Like,
this is the first
dog.
time that it's happened. Bushfires in Australia happen every 30 or so years. I know that in our lifetime it's really bad because we're not old enough. But I when I was typing in information about this, I saw one about 1989. So this is not the first time this has happened.
But the problem now is
excuse
the
me.
climate is definitely much
Worse.
different. So all I'm saying is,
Extremely so.
imagine like they're on the brink of having everything just finished, done. You know, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling good, and God just says no. Like he takes the match and he just drops it down and we restarts.
reading
Like
a bit
like
more,
imagine.
reading a bit more into the article, it says the Prime Minister told a conference uh, that the government would pay whatever it costs to recover from the fires, which are likely to run for weeks or months yet to be known.
Hmm.
So that's not saying much, but it's still a promise that he's trying to keep out there to help rebuild his um something he caused or didn't help with.
Why they keep that man in power if he left?
Because he knew he was the reason that it started.
I mean, yeah. That I'm glad
He implemented
trying to.
some whack things that didn't really help the air quality and environment there in Australia,
Mm.
and like he wasn't really paying any attention to like the ecosystem and things like that. He was kind of just doing some bad decisions in general, to be honest. More for the sake of humanity or something like that. I don't know.
Mm. I mean, I'm glad he's I wouldn't say no. I think that this situation could have humbled him, put him in the right direction instead of focusing on whatever he was doing to not focus on this. Um, that leads that could lead anywhere. Now, going from Australia, the ecosystem in 2020, the ecosystem for a long time actually decent in recent times has improved. I because of Corona, because of COVID-19. I don't know if I'm
The
really
animals are
that.
coming back.
Yeah,
Nature is rebuilding.
a lot of things have started to come back on their own. Specific migration patterns for whales have opened up again because trees. Dolphins are back on the coast of Italy, I think. Like a lot of things just said oh yo, humans are gone. I'm about to slide up.
They've been waiting for this. They've been waiting for this.
Okay, so not gonna lie, you actually did a really good segue into one of the topics that I have written down here. The beginnings of COVID.
Oh gosh.
Now, so COVID actually first started like 2019. That's why it's called COVID-19, because that's when it was discovered and things like that. But we actually we figured it out near the beginning of July, or January actually, my bad. And it actually didn't come to us until maybe like May, April, I'd say. Wasn't really that
No,
bad until May, April.
when
It
it
wasn't here
started,
for a while.
I was completely like I was flabbergasted, and yes, I use the word flabbergasted because usually if someone feels sick, they stay at home, right? That's what people do when they get the flu. But no, people feel sick and they're getting on a plane to Peru, then to Tokyo, then they're going to Rome. Like,
Nah,
why are y'all moving? Why do y'all
see
keep?
that
Why do
See, we
what
didn't
the
the
mentality behind that isn't like what you think. It's so imagine, right? There's an outbreak of some really whack virus. It's not like for one, when it comes to COVID, some people don't even know they have it until symptoms start showing up. And
Okay,
when that
go on.
what?
Sorry.
keep.
Hold
Okay, well, I guess that ends
Okay.
his thing.
While he's not here, the outbreak started around November, October, November of 2019, and it was first reported on December 31st in Wuhan, China.
Ooh. See, that's
Yeah,
when it started in Wuhan, China, which is actually where the COVID coronavirus actually came from. Is from the place of origin, because that's how like outbreak viruses like this are actually named. They're named based off of the place it's from and basically what it's like. Because COVID, if you don't know, it actually started from someone eating a bad bat. Like, that's
Okay, let's look
I,
on.
I
the
hate
funniest
that.
thing ever.
Like,
Also, you want to know what's funny? A movie came out maybe like 2017. It basically starting exactly like that. The premise of the movie is a severe outbreak has happened and only 2 people are immune to it. And the reason the outbreak started was because the chef who made the food didn't wash his hands before greeting someone else. And that's how it actually got transferred from people to people. And it wiped out most of humanity.
Um, looking this up, how it started, it is believed to be a animal-based or animal origins, uh, genetic similar to the bat coronavirus. Suggested it emerged from a bat foreign virus, which is a different type of virus. Um, but there is not yet any evidence to link an animal responsible for the COVID-19 outbreak.
Hmm. That's wild. What was I gonna say? I'm actually stupid. Hold on. I lost my train of thought as he was explaining how it actually originated and things like that. What was I gonna actually say? I can't think now. Like, I'm coming up on blanks here.
all right, well, I'll take that for myself. So, yeah, honestly, with how America handled the whole situation, with how a lot of people handled the whole situation, like we thought it was gonna just stay in Asia for a really long time. Then when it moved to Europe, we're like, oh, we should probably take it just a little bit seriously. Now, that's what the government said. Do people actually do that? Not a lot of people actually did that. Living in Florida, it's very people don't give a DAMN. They don't give a DAMN. Okay, like they just don't care. Then it started to get over here. I'm 100% sure that if we would have taken this at face value when it first started and actually did something with this, we would not be in this situation right now.
No.
Dog, boy, the economy. Now I know we don't like to use the word the economy here because it means so much. When it comes to the workforce during 2020, the drop in numbers is astronomical. The rate of exchange has gone up. Prices had some prices have gone down. Boy, gas is low
Gas.
now.
Dude,
Like,
gas is slowly starting to rise up, and I'm sad about that.
it's yeah, like gas was low when it first started, but now it's starting to go back up again, even higher because we don't have a lot of workers, essential workers, and how much have they been working, and like boy, they've been doing doubles and triples.
I don't want to talk about essential working, bro. My store opened back up close to like maybe 3 weeks after we closed because apparently we are now essential after they added like Kleenex and things like that into the store. There's a tiny section for that now. We have lotion and Kleenex and hand sanitizer. We got body wash. We got soap. It's only a tiny section, but like, how can that?
Now, speaking from, I guess experience would be the word. I got killed during COVID. Like, for those that don't know on this podcast, I worked as a party venue employee. My place called the Rhythm Factory, party venues and things of that nature. Now, I'm sorry, but if you're having a party with 100, like usually our parties are at a minimum 100 people. They're like 100 plus people in one area, then like we can't hold you by state law, by city law. We cannot hold you because there's over 100 people. Honestly, I think like they still have parties up now, but those are like at minimum 20, at maximum 30. I think. Like at this, like it's crazy. I haven't gone to work since this started. My money's been on. Um,
Fumes.
Like for me, my mom, she's technically essential because she works in medical supply warehousing, so she helps ship stuff off and stuff. My dad does not work because he is disabled. He cannot have a job, so I help pay the bills. I can't help pay the bills if I ain't got no job. You feel me? It's been life.
Going back into economy in Florida, actually, I actually went to Jenny Springs recently. Maybe this was about like a month ago, I'd say. I went to Jenny Springs. They're open back up. If you don't know, Jenny Springs is like one of the 3 Clearwater springs we have here in Florida, and it was bad. It really was. Like, there was people everywhere. No one was wearing a mask. It was crowded as all. It was bad. The only safe spot that was actually, like, safe away from people was out actually on the spring. Everyone was chilling in, like, the banks and things like that, and we got an awning, which was really nice. That means no one walked up to us or anything like that, so we were chilling.
Do you guys remember back, I think during the quarantine, when there was this thing going around the internet where there was a huge party that was going to happen down at the Huguenot Beach?
Yeah, I remember that. So
No.
stupid.
At this point, Florida is a breeding ground for this disease.
I've never heard of that, actually.
I only know this because I know who planned it.
Planned.
Not gonna name any names because, well,
reasons, yes.
Reasons.
Yeah, legal reasons, yes.
For legal reasons, I can't talk about it.
But he basically was trying to get some friends out to the beach and to have a get together, and it just spread like a fire.
Yeah, you could say it spread like a bushfire.
That was not needed.
At this point, dog, we gotta laugh at this year. It's different. At this point, it's not the
Bro,
worst
I've been
thing he's done.
cooped up, man. I need to get out.
But
It's been a-
yeah, so he wanted to have a party down on the beach, and he said the whole beach was packed that day.
What?
Officers were down there, like the beach was full.
Do y'all forget?
Cops?
There was cops patrolling the beach.
What are y'all doing?
You all forget that you all forget that we live in a state where we hear hurricanes, and we say, all right, I'm gonna head out. Like I forgot what hurricane it was, but they were like, hey,
Brought to us by mom. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my God! You messed up.
Oh, run that back.
No way! Oh
Most
God! You
likely.
bent.
So
God,
what was
bent.
just said, if you didn't hear,
No,
was
no, no.
that
I heard it in perfect
It
clarity.
says,
Y'all got me
as of
bent.
now, all hybrid students will be 5 days a week next Monday.
next Monday.
So that means the 14th of September.
Yo.
Need your ass going to
They
school?
Oh, that's gonna be fun. So that means we're going back to school fully 5 days a week.
Speaking of
Everyone's gonna be
Corona.
there at the same time, dude. That's gonna be fun.
They can't. Okay, the way that they're doing lunch for us.
Already a
that's not even
headache.
possible.
Already a headache for lunch, dude.
Oh,
How are
they're
they gonna
always-
do that? That's they might still do it
They
the
might.
same way they've been doing it, where they do it by like wing only, because they were doing it bottom F, then it was A and C, and then I think it was top F, then D and B.
Sure, but
Top
that's
F
fine.
would Top F got a fourth period lunch with B Wing. I don't remember what B Wing had with, but we all got the fun part of it.
Right, look.
B Wing.
I want y'all to think about this, right? I want y'all to really focus. If y'all remember back in our sophomore and junior years, when lunchtime started, F wing, you could only walk in one direction. There is literally no way that they're gonna be able to do this.
There is no way that next week we're gonna all be back. That's gonna suck too, dude. That's like, God, everyone's gonna want to get out of that building. Everyone's gonna try and
Imagine.
get there first, so they don't have to wait on the absurd line that gets there if you don't get there first.
The amount of people that likely won't even be wearing a mask is
High.
That-
Well, I mean, they require masks inside school. Like, you have to bring a mask in school, or else they're not gonna allow
Okay,
you.
look.
But them, like,
Because they break it through the door doesn't mean they gotta wear it all. day.
exactly,
Oh,
like,
it's the same thing
I
with
think people in the
IDs,
classroom
honestly.
take it off, and I'm like, homie, what you think? This boy, if you don't step back,
main
you don't
contender,
get
the main
I-
contender I've seen of that is Evan. Evan takes his mask off
just
all the
slow.
time.
It's
You
just
do understand you're gonna need to blank out people's names who are not on this podcast.
For legal reasons.
Legal
just
reasons.
slow.
At this point, I think they can just see it. Like, at this point, it's like, oh, he has a mask on, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
God, at this point, like, masks, I can only assume are viewed how IDs are. You're supposed to have them on, but who's really gonna have them on?
Like, that's everyone that walks in the store that I work at. They're like, oh
Exactly.
yeah, I have a mask. Then they walk past me. Then they take their mask off. Oh, excuse me. Then they just roam around the store, and then I have to flag them down. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll put it on. And then they'll take it off again when I walk away. Give me like a snarky comment or something behind my back. You know, I hate working at that
really
cramped
different.
store.
It's really
Those
different in Florida,
people-
dog.
Are gonna get spiked.
No, we like that. We like that. That's vintage.
Like, look, I remember while I was in Atlanta, everywhere I went, I saw a good percentage of people with masks on. When I got down here,
Oh no, sir.
dog, they were just free. They were just out there. I was like, what? Huh? What are you? What?
I can't imagine what
Are
it's
you
like at
breathing?
like Disney and Orlando now, because they actually opened both of those backed up here in Florida.
Yeah,
Disney
they
and
opened that
Orlando
back
are
up.
open back up in Florida, which is the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen. That is one of the most, in my opinion, stupidest ideas Disney has ever come up with. And in the recent years, they've come up with some stupid stuff.
You know what? At
Like,
this point,
the remakes
this
of the
is just
movies
luck.
are not the best, I have to say. Even though they are, like, they're supposed to appeal to the younger audience. I get that. But we're still part of that audience. We're like a small percentage of that audience, but we're still part of it.
Okay, but you can't lie though. The Mulan trailer looks hot.
Mulan
Well,
trailer does
nice.
look pretty good. If they do not mess up Mulan, I will be happy.
Let's save Mulan for later
True.
It's
episode.
actually our yeah. We'll
So-
talk about that. We'll talk about Disney and stuff later on another
Yeah.
time.
That sounds
But,
not political.
speaking of leaving the state of Florida, I went to Alabama over the last month, or for a whole month, sometime last month, and there's a law or there's there's a thing in place that if you go out in public and you are seen without a mask on, you will get fined $500+.
Wow.
It's good.
Yes.
That
I was like, at this point,
But-
But
at this
but
point,
but really though, how are they gonna? The thing is, yes, that is a law. That's not gonna scare everyone, because then people are gonna be like, yeah, it's just a law. They're not gonna catch me. Because how are they gonna regulate that? That means they're gonna have to hire more people to actually go out on the
Stores.
street and watch for people. They're gonna have to actually like have maybe like
Oh,
COVID
okay.
assistance in each store or something like that, which is going to cost them a fortune and things like that. Yes, they have the law, but how are they going to uphold the law?
as far as stores go, I mean, you got cameras. So I mean, hey,
Cameras,
there's that.
but
I mean,
stores, they
yeah,
are
just
getting
because
in
someone's on
trouble.
camera, doesn't mean that you can like
Stores
find
like-
them specifically.
Stores are getting in trouble for letting people into the store, or just into the store without having a mask on. Up in Alabama, and I have known, or I've been to a few restaurants and stuff like that where I have seen people just walk in without a mask on, and they use the excuse of, I have a medical
Oh.
condition that violates
Bruh.
I can, yeah.
I get that.
And some of these people actually prove to these people that they cannot use a mask. Now, those other people who haven't, that's a different story. They got kicked out, and I'm just sitting here like, fair point. And I just went back to doing what I was doing.
I get so many people walk into the store that I work at that say, "Oh, I have a medical condition. I can't wear a mask." The only thing I can really do in that instance is, since we don't have any laws that literally say you can kick people out of your stores if they aren't physically wearing one and they don't have a medical condition, even though in Jacksonville it is required to wear a mask outside of your home. The only thing I can really say is, okay, have a nice day, be safe, with a smile on my face, and walk away. Which sucks.
Oh, yes, that. The flea markets up there in Alabama, they are a bit more relaxed with the mask law that they require. If an officer walks up to the flea market, which I have not seen one out of the 4 weeks I was up there, in the flea market, people just walked around without a mask on. And on my way back here, I went to Tampa and also visited a flea market while I was out there. Not a single person wore a mask.
When I was
in
down
any of
there,
these flea markets.
when I was down in Jenny Springs, I was getting a lot of stares for wearing my mask. Like, it wasn't a normal thing these people do on the daily. It was wild. We were, because when we got there, they told us we can't park back near the spring for some odd reason. So we had to pick up our stuff from the car that we took and walk it down to the pavilion we had, which was like maybe, I don't know, maybe a mile away, which was a long walk, I have to say. But I was the only one in our group who was wearing a mask. I was getting stares. I felt uncomfortable, but I still wore it all the way to there and all the way back.
My boy.
Like,
Good on you. Good on you.
so,
Ah,
speaking of out-of-state stuff that happened, apparently, in January, Texas actually had a school shooting.
yeah.
It probably swept under the rug. Like I imagine people in Texas heard about it, but definitely that's their state. But
Okay,
probably didn't get much anyway.
It's I'm not sure what I have pulled up on this. Small JROTC gathering turned deadly on Tuesday when a student bandished a handgun that he had brought to Houston High School and pulled the trigger unintentionally killing an upperclassman who had enlisted in the army.
Oof.
One kid died by accident because a student had brought a handgun. Kid was charged with, he's 16 years old, and he was charged with manslaughter. He had fled, captured several hours later, prompting fears of another target shooting in the state, and that's just the first 2 paragraphs of this.
Wow. That's
yeah.
scary to think about, dude. And
So
just
the dude's at large.
basically, and just to think, like 3 years ago, there was a school shooting in Miami that affected us heavily, dude.
Oh, Florida changed. Yeah, like
The
like that.
Valentine's
That's
Day
cool
one.
shooting.
Yeah.
Boy, I remember the first time. I think it was the first year after that. I remember coming to school, and during that year I was riding 2 buses, so I had to go to one school to finally get to Frank H. And I remember that when I got there, I saw like cops and just like I was watching this
Dude, I
whole long
remember
process
that
of people getting
year.
searched. And then I remember getting to school and we pulled up to the front, which usually meant something no bueno.
Searches.
And yep, searches. And I do believe that day it was actually cold. It was February, so I think it was cold around that time.
Yes,
And
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
freezing.
pretty cold.
now
Oh,
I
The
live for
worst.
the cold, but that was different.
Y'all remember that year when there was an alleged person who was gonna bring a gun to school?
Valentine's Day shootings.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is never treated the same. I don't know a lot about things outside of our school, but when it comes to our school, when it comes to Valentine's Day, you cannot bring any gifts that you cannot hold in your hand.
We are
by
not allowed to
yourself.
bring gifts in school anymore. That
You
has
can't
been.
bring a bag. You can't bring balloons. You can't bring a massive teddy bear. All your gift exchanges have to be on school. Which okay, that doesn't sound too bad. When it comes to like Valentine's Day, some people really like to show out. Like their girls come really nice, their partners come really nice. They come with large gifts and they like to show them off. Like, okay, that's fine, that's perfectly okay. But it's definitely killed an entire culture that the school has had. Like Valentine's Day, something that's really hold sacred in young lovers. Find that really nice, and it's really nice to come to school and you're able to just show like, hey, I got you this massive bear. You can't do that anymore. At least without being confiscated.
Speaking of things that have been taken away from us that were like a known
Our
thing
rights?
at school, our right to
Boy.
hang out outside of school, that is technically our right that we have, and they took it away from us after what happened a year ago.
Ooh, boy.
That was fun,
That was
wasn't
what,
it,
my final
guys?
year?
That was
I
your
remember when
final
that
year.
That was
happened.
So,
oh
When it
I still
happened.
remember crystal clear.
Boy,
if,
I think I had videos of that.
if you did,
Like, legitimate videos of that.
so, for some context sake, about last year at our school, Frank H. Peterson, there was some things going on between two separate races. It was between the southern
No.
people, like the very southern people, versus
Not
Sub, the southern group had a mixed culture of people in it, from Hispanics to white to black. I was there, but I'm not southern. I'm just friends with the people in the group, and I was like, why, why this? And their whole reason is because, I think, sophomore of last year, I brought a 2020 Trump flag. to
oh
school.
yes, sir.
Wait.
And
There's context though. Okay, not everyone that was there was for what was happening. Because I know some people that went there because
True. True.
yeah, like the sophomore said it was going to be just a American rally. You know, like hey, we're just gonna talk about things on America, just have some fun, just bump up America. Like yes, we love America. My friend
and
Brandon
others weren't.
brought his Constitution bandana and he came to have some fun.
Brandon wore that thing for like a month straight, not caring, bro.
Look, and that man, I walked over there because I saw some of my friends, and I was like, hey, what's happening? And then I saw, like, why is there a horde of African Americans on the
That
wing staring. I'm about
entire
to.
wing, boy,
The
they were
entire
posted
wing
up.
was just brown and shades of that vegetation.
The
And
fact
I
that
was like,
the reason it was deemed the race war because it was one color. It looked like one color was going after the other color. Is basically what I'm getting at here. But
Yes.
it's wild that the fact that they took away us hanging out after school, even though we're very friendly with each other. Like we like to joke around a lot and make stupid jokes at each other. We're just very friendly with each other. The day that they took that away from us, we were all just chilling, hanging around someone's car, and then Officer Jenkins,
fine.
who was our known security police guard at the school, he drove up to us and said, "Hey, y'all gotta go home."
Not just
Go
after school,
home
before
or
school
go to
too.
the school.
That
Yeah,
that's what he said.
He gave us.
We couldn't hang out anymore, which is wild. We still can't to this day, even if like in the beginning of school, even if they see us hanging out for maybe even a couple seconds in our car or something like that, we have to go into school. No hanging out in your car, no fun allowed.
Boy, because we used to have so much.
We
I
used
remember we used
to.
to pull out the balls. We used to have footballs. You used to drive around the parking lot. We used to go.
It
Dog,
was
you remember
fun.
that we went to go to Waffle House and we ate out.
That was
Dog,
fun.
Someone brought me back a Texas melt, and I was mad happy. I really sat in gym class and was just chilling, dog. Just I'm
Me and my friend ate that Waffle House in Mochina's class. Mochina did not care.
Oh, I remember that day.
I walked into
That
Ellis's
was-
class
that was-
and I sat down. I said, Miss Ellis, I got some bacon. You want some? She was like, of course, honey. And me and her sat down and we ate some bacon.
We
Oh,
were late for
back
school
under
that day too. We got away with that too because we shoved the food in our backpacks, bro.
We did. And they get searched us because technically it's after school. Ugh. I just
Back on topic real quick about the Texas school shooting. I read a bit more into the article, and this is a paragraph from it. It's important that I know where he got it and how he got it. Miss Og, the name is spelled O-G-G, said of the weapon, nothing that her office had prioritized guns violence prevention. Our culture in Texas embraces firearms. There's a lot of guns in Texas.
I think it's just a lot of guns in the South.
That's kind of. I mean, it's Texas is known for being the yippee ki guns
not
go
the
crazy.
yippee-ki-yay.
Texas is known for that, and actually, if I remember correctly, maybe 5 years ago, everyone from Texas was actually thinking of going away from America, becoming their own country, and just living their rights
That sounds
themselves.
like a Florida type beat. I ain't gonna lie.
Boy, Texas, Florida, and
It's the
sometimes-
South. It's really the
honestly,
South.
it's something about the water here.
It's something about the outer states, really. California,
Yeah, the
Texas,
coastal-
Washington, Alaska.
I keep forgetting Alaska exists.
Look, dog, Alaska.
Okay, the guns.
Alaska's basically its own country anyway.
Yeah.
There is something about the southern states that, like the real southern states, that's just different. I'm not 100% sure they're sprinkling a little bit of crack in the water sometimes, and they just don't get filtered out.
It's the Gators, man. They're speaking to us.
Dog, I'm telling y'all. Eventually, we're just gonna jump in the water and go gills.
No, we're not gonna jump in the state is going to sink, and every Floridian who's been here for long enough is
Yeah.
going to adapt on site.
Yeah,
Just
just gills right there.
now imagine we can just come up whenever we want.
Reading more of the article, it said the suspect had called his nephew and another student into the storage room to show them the gun that he had brought to school and stored it in his locker. And a teacher, Miss Diaz, I think that's how you pronounce it, or sorry about any names I get wrong. He said that the suspect had a history of bullying.
Oh no.
Was it a target or was he the one committing it?
He he was just, that's all it says. Let's see. When he raised his shirt and noticed the gun in his waistband, kid cocked it. This kid cocked the gun.
Oh.
See, we didn't see. We don't see this as an accident, said the same teacher. We are holding the school accountable,
Oh.
or it's Mister. A student had expended expected to return to school on Thursday after classes were canceled. Students were expected to return on Thursday after the classes were canceled on Wednesday.
Hmm.
But that's all the article. That's that portion. We don't know if the kid who brought the gun was bullied or was the bully. We just That's just something else. So we don't know if he
Wild.
had a target or
If he was
we
the
don't know
target.
yes, of the bullying, and if he was going to fix a situation.
See, that's usually it's usually the latter, because usually when kids bring guns to school, it's usually that he was bullied in school. But the fact that he might have possibly been a bully kind of says something about Texas, to be honest.
Just Texas? Are you sure?
It really does.
Like, I mean, I know Texas is very pro-gun. Like, they will defend their Second Amendment rights to the day they die, probably.
Something about Texas.
Sandy's punching the air right now.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm looking at the article that we have up that kind of like prolays. No, that's not the word. Kind of outlays everything that we have in 2020 in January. We have a lot to get through, and I'm gonna say now we're not gonna be able to get through all this today.
We're just gonna try and recap like the biggest things that kind of happened in January, to be honest.
Or
January
or
happened.
things that flew under the radar that most people didn't know about.
2020,
Because
the Jakarta floods. That was something that no one knew about.
What?
The what?
So, in the
Spell that real quick.
Jakarta,
Spell Jakarta?
Jakarta.
J
Jakara.
K A
R T A.
R T A.
Indonesia.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The Indonesian floods. Yes, sir. I think that was because of a hurricane that swept over them, right? If I remember correctly.
Typhoon.
Well, floods have hit Jakarta many times in the past, including in 1621, 1654, 1918, 1942, 1972, 1996, 2002, 2007, and 2013. But why was
Okay,
this one
so
so low? Because a lot of it was
This-
severe and had to do with tides, climate change, and everything in between.
this happened because early hours of the 1st of January, the flood happened because of overnight rain.
Dumped 15 inches of rainwater down on the entire area.
That's like going to Alaska and getting 15 inches of snow, but worse, bro. Imagine
What do you mean,
waking
what?
imagine waking up in the morning and seeing your neighbor's house flooded.
I'm imagine seeing yours about to be flooded too.
Oh no! See, I'm pretty sure that's reality for a lot of people. Just waking up and seeing your neighbor's house, sort of like, oh wow, mine's next. That's crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
because-
I better get out of here.
Because
I mean,
at
we live
least
in a state.
66 people have been killed, and
How many
over
people?
1,000 have been displaced. So 66 at least have been killed, but 60,000 have been displaced.
Jesus.
As this is apparently the worst flooding since 2007.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
For the worst flood in Jakarta.
No, if that, since that's kind of like a good roll into like a general topic of climate change.
Oh wow. That's
Now,
a
remember
whole
when
nother
people-
Get
topic.
on this.
Chain is a
Can we get someone on this for? I was gonna say for F's sake, but for finally, could we get someone on this?
Now, I remember, I think this actually did sprout in January, or near the beginning of January, the debate of whether climate change was real or not.
I don't get that. What do you mean it's not real?
Now,
We
There are
had
people
ice
who
age
still
in the
believe the
past.
Earth is
there
flat, so,
were
hey,
actually
don't,
people who, I guess it was one of the big politicians on one of the sides. I don't want to get into it that much, but basically,
Not
I
yet.
guess one of the big politicians on one of the sides says, "Oh yeah, climate change isn't real. Nothing has happened for climate change to be a big issue, or it's not real. You know, it's just hot."
no, duh.
But like,
that's wild. It's
there
crazy. It's
there
hot.
has been multiple testings of the ozone layers in just around Earth, and they have been slowly regenerating back, but it is at its most time low since 2017, I have to say.
since the quarantine, those holes had made, I want to say 45% recovery. Like each hole recovered on its
Ever
own.
since humans just stopped being active, the Earth's been slightly better.
Ever since humans
Yeah.
stopped using a lot of spray cans.
For humanity. Oh, it says so much for humanity.
This is kind of has
The
changed
fact that
a
y'all didn't know
lot.
this before, like the fact that no one's yet
We
realized it
definitely
really
did,
is.
but we're gonna just reiterate it.
We've just been throwing swings and left and right. Swinging back to COVID. Recently,
At this point,
I remember. So there was this thing. This is dating back to when WoW was first in its classic states. Back then in WoW Classic, well, just WoW now if you want WoW Classic now if you play it. But back then there was actually
Can you
a
elaborate what
major.
WoW is for those that don't know?
World
Hey
of
man,
Warcraft, boys.
there might be some people who don't play it. But
World of
Warcraft
just
is like
let them
this
know, boys.
massive MMO that you can play that has like tons of hours in the game. People have no lifed it, like but anyways, back when the game was maybe 20 big updates in, I'd say, they had this massive bug glitch that was in the game to where if you even got near someone, it would just like mess up your character completely. Like
You get a virus.
it was a bad virus, and they're actually studying what happened back then to try and help get past COVID. And they're actually using what
Look,
happened
dog.
back there in WoW as like a study almost for COVID. And the way they actually stopped the massive virus from affecting everyone is they had to roll back the game to before the bug was even released. They had to depatch the game.
So
So we just go.
what I'm
We're just gonna
hearing
depatch
is
2020?
extinction.
Yeah. Basically, they had to
No, we just gonna try again later.
people would not listen because what they officially stated is if you do get the virus, you have to get away from everyone instantly or else you will give it to everyone else. Not a lot of people listened. Most of them did, but a few didn't. People got it and they're like, oh yes, my opportunity to go out and affect people more and more because I feel like I'm a bad person and this is 2010. Woo, edgy.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but it sounds like the two were saying let's roll back to 2019. I don't know how that's possible.
That's what I'm straight up saying. Let's take it back.
You have to roll back to 2016.
Yes, sir.
Harambe.
Boy.
Starting from Harambe.
Oh no.
Like, dog, 2016 was just.
2016 was the time.
2016 was the. 2017 rolled around and everything went downhill. Sort of.
Bruh.
You can say whatever you want.
Y'all can talk about 2016. My favorite year was 2012. Everything was right in 2012.
Dog, everything. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Scrap everything before, or not scrap. Scrap everything from 2016 on, or 2017 on. Everything else back then can stay. You know,
No,
Bobby
no, no,
Shmurda.
Scrap.
Bobby Shmurda. Bro, if we're gonna bring up recent events, I want to talk about a very sad point that recently happened. This was maybe like a week ago. Chad Brunswick has died of colon cancer.
Oh my God!
We
At least
can't
say
get a
his
break.
name right. It's
Listen
Chadwick
here,
Boseman.
man. Okay.
It's Chadwick
We could have
Boseman.
at
Yeah.
least.
I could
We
have.
could've at
I messed it up bad. I'm sorry. But
Not
the crazy thing is that he told basically no one, and yet in 4 years he has made the most advancement any person in
Yeah.
movies I've seen.
That man, while having roles that required him to do physical exercise of unbelievable levels. Marvel is no easy job to get as an actor.
Literally in
No.
4 years, he did maybe 10 movies, I'd have to say. In 4 years, I think. That man
He
has
was
done
a
a
true
lot
warrior.
of movies. He played a lot of leading roles, and the fact that he did all those movies leading up to him being T'Challa in Marvel is one of the craziest things I've ever seen out of any actor before.
Indeed.
Like,
And the I mean like it started catching up to him at the very end. Like after Black Panther ended, black people were able to notice him like getting a lot skinnier. And a lot of people were concerned, but they were justifiable concerns. Because like he hasn't like the roles he played after that wasn't really like physical heavy. So okay yeah, he could get skinnier. He got like a lot skinnier. Everyone's like, is T'Challa okay? Well, not T'Challa, but it's Chadwick okay? Is Boseman okay? And for being 4 years in colon cancer, while doing these roles, while being an inspirational figure, like I don't think y'all know the weekend because they chose a Friday, the weekend that Black Panther came out. I have never seen so much Black pride within my community and
I was
on
about
the
to
that
say.
internet.
movie sparked
Everyone
a lot, actually. Like,
it was a huge it wasn't just him, everyone on that cast did so
everyone did so
well.
good with that movie.
It was an amazing movie.
One of the things I'm sad is that still haven't seen 21 Bridges, yet I want to. 21 Bridges
wanna
seemed
see
like
it, too.
such a good movie.
I want to see it too.
Like,
that looks mad coming.
The only reason I wanted to see it was because he was in the movie, but the premise of the movie is also really cool as well. It deals with, I think at least, it deals with a lot of racial things, and
From what I saw in the trailer, there was something going on with some sort of crime, and they're on some
Guy
sort of like
shot a cop.
island. Yeah.
It
Like
was
like
Manhattan.
there's basically there's 21 bridges that you can leave and technically come into from Manhattan, and then they want to catch whoever they're trying to catch. So they shut down
Bridges,
all the
railroads.
bridges. Yep, they shut down all the bridges. Like no one can leave and no one can enter. So yes, this is technically turning down the city.
turned down for what?
Hate that. And in this time they're gonna try to find the person while all the bridges are shut down.
Yeah, that's under a night as well. He was only
Yep.
allowed to do that for a night, which is crazy. That movie is gonna be good to see.
I'll watch it with you, dog.
Indeed.
But Chadwick Boseman, rest in power.
Yes, sir.
You got that, King. You got that.
We've been going at this for about an hour. I think that should be a good spot to wrap it up, honestly.
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good spot. Only one slip up. One or two slip ups
Only
here and
one,
there,
man.
but this is like our first time actually trying this.
That's actually really surprising for us.
Yes.
The fact that he had to add the us part. Y'all forget he had to be us part. That's surprising for us.
That is. Oh my gosh. But anyways, this has been like our test run, first episode of this podcast that we're doing that's going to get heavy political throughout the year as we go on. My name is Trevor. TJ Rocks, wherever you want. Kavika, where can people find you, places like that?
Just the father of many on Instagram and Twitter.
Reggie?
look, man, I'll be straight up. I ain't got social media like that at all. But Reggie, usually on some areas I'm called Blitz. On Instagram, I'm called Blitz, but it's very, very retarded. If you want to try to find it, it's spelled really strangely. So it's I'll try to say this once. If you want to find it, please pay attention. B.B.L.I.T.Z.Z. There you go. I'm so sorry if you want to try to find me, but it's not that serious. On my Instagram, I do kind of post things. Not really. I mostly do stories talking about some current events if I really feel strongly about it. But I'll mostly be on here. I'll try to be here for every session.
Jadon?
You know, it's been, you know, Jadon, find me on Instagram. Actually, please don't.
Alrighty. Send offs. Bye.
All right, catch y'all.
Yeah.